opens at 10 a.m.
Yeah, it's 10 a.m.
Is it? It's
Yeah.
10. Isn't it 9? Oh, let's get I don't know what Jurassic Park is. I don't know what.
That's right, an hour. Because of the length of the tour, we strongly recommend that you use the restroom.
You want to use the...
What's the duct tape on?
Try. Hey, you guys can hear me so much better now. Oh, this is so much better. So, hey guys, I'm Shawn. Nice to meet you. So quick before we get this road of the show, everybody, make sure that we're scooting all the way over the farthest right-hand side as we can, making room for everybody to get on board today as possible. And parents, if you got any small children with you today, say their feet don't touch the ground. Move them to the centermost of the aisle as you can, away from the gates on your left and your right-hand sides. That's for safety reasons. Speaking of those safety reasons as well, let's see, throughout the duration of the tour today, please remain in your assigned row and sit only with your traveling party. We also ask that you keep your facial coverings on at all times, and it's always a good idea to wash your hands frequently and use hand sanitizer. And make sure that everybody also has a pair of 3D glasses. You'll need the 3D glasses. Yeah, the ones you're right in your hands right there. That's the ones. You'll need the 3D glasses for King Kong 360 3D and the Fast and the Furious Supercharge. We'll be experiencing those later in the tour. Speaking of the entire tour, so the tour should last roughly around 40 minutes to an hour, depending on the route and depending on if anything's filming in the backlot, which there's a lot of things filming tonight, or this afternoon rather. I'm just getting up with the Halloween Horror Nights. Did any of you guys go to Halloween Horror Nights this past September, October? Ooh, no. Ooh, it's daytime. So there's a lot of things filming this morning, guys. So throughout the entire tour today, I might have to jump off camera and microphone for really quickly. But that's because there's active filming going on. And if that happens, I'll put up a screen that looks like this. I believe it says, quiet please, filming in progress. That's the one right there, because there's filming in progress. So I'll just be sure to let you guys know ahead of time. Sometimes the big things I'm looking for are something called wigwags. Let me put some nice little ambient music for you again. There it is. There's something called wigwags. They're little lights on the outsides of every single sound stages out in the back lot there. And whenever there's filming going on, those wigwags are going to be lighting up with red, kind of like a big fire truck light. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled for all of those lights. If you see them too, shout them out too. But you'll also be seeing that something's filming in progress. If I see those, that just tells me I'm going to be hopping off camera and microphone for a short duration. But apart from that, sit back, relax, guys. You're on the world-famous studio tour.
I'm just getting warmed up.
Oh, we're just getting warmed up here. The electric tram's rip-roaring, ready to roll, and we're on the road, everybody. Well, tours last roughly around 40 minutes to an hour, like I said, depending on the route and depending on if anything's filming in the backlot. But, you know, I can't do this tour alone, everybody, because I'm going to be assisted by a gentleman you might already recognize if you watch The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. That's because it's Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Shawn.
And the greatest driver.
Steve.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Shawn.
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right, Jimmy. We do have a few safety rules before we get going here. First, if you need guest assistance or have a medical emergency, if you drop something of value off the side of the tram, or if you have any sound or video issues, reach up and grab the emergency cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so, excuse me. Otherwise, for the duration of the tour, please stay seated and keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property, so if at any time during the tour you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull that red cord, but please remain seated. Please, no smoking of any kind during the tour, and be prepared. Our tour today features loud noises, sudden tram movements, fire effects, and many water effects. So you want to have your cameras out for those great photo opportunities, but keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. And finally, for your safety and for those around you, please, no selfie sticks while on board. And with that, everybody, safety spiel's out of the way. We have now left the theme park behind and have now entered our universal timeline. Over to your left and your right-hand sides, these movie posters are just a few of the many thousands of movies that Universal Studios has produced in our 106-year history here. Our founder was a guy by the name of Carl Laemmle. Carl Laemmle was the founder of Universal Studios, and he opened the door to the public back in 1915, and he dubbed this area the strangest city in the world. Because, well, if you look over to your right-hand side at Fire Station 51 here, that's a good example of why we call it a strange little city. Because this area that you're in right now, well, you probably had to MapQuest your way to the park this morning using the zip code 91608, right? That's us. Universal City is so massive, we've got its own zip code. So we have our own fire department, we also have our own sheriff's substation, we've got our own DMV, and we also have our own farmer's market from week to week. No city's complete without a farmer's market. But the only thing different from our city compared to yours is that we don't have permanent residences here on the lot. Everybody commutes in from the Los Angeles County area or from around the world every single day to come to work. And with that, everybody, we're transitioning out of the Universal timeline. Welcome to the front lot of Universal Studios. Here in the front lot, you're going to be seeing a lot of sound stages like the ones on your left-hand side. On your left, that's sound stage number 12. It used to be the home of The Voice, but The Voice has moved elsewhere. I'll try pointing it out when we continue the tour. Oh, we got a wig-wag. We got filming guys coming on the left-hand side. I'm hopping off camera and mic. That's where we're filming the reboot of Saved by the Bell, the second season. Now there's a new HBO Max show coming in. Hacks. Hacks is the TV show that's moving in, so they're kind of like transitioning right now from one production to the next. A lot of productions going on, a lot of filming going on today, guys. But just kind of like doing my looks around, make sure that I don't see any more wigwags. Every single production that makes it to you guys' screens, television shows, movies, and commercials as well. They all have to go through 3 phases of production in order to make it to the screens. The first phase is the pre-production phase, where a lot of the writing and the concept designing happens and the casting of actors happens. And the second phase is the production phase. All that means is filming. That's what's going on in a lot of these sound stages and elsewhere in the backlot too. And the third and the final stage is the post-production phase. That's where we compile together all the video and the audio that we filmed in the production phase, chop it down and edit it to a half an hour, 45-minute long TV show or a movie length, hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, just so that it's ready to be broadcast on your TV or your theater screen. That's the post-production is meant for. I'll talk about the post-production a little bit later in the tour, and what we're going to be seeing all throughout the entire route here is pretty much the production phase. A lot of filming going on. In just a minute, I'll talk about the pre-production. But over on your right-hand side, you're looking at sound stages. There's a lot of them over there. Sound stages 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43 over there. They used to film a lot of TV shows. Ted Danson just finished up filming a new season of Mr. Mayor in those sound stages. 42 and 43 there. You can kind of see some of the Mr. Mayor promos on the right there. Right all over these, the trailers all around here. Ted Danson kind of is calling these sound stages home. Before he was filming Mr. Mayor, he was filming every single season of The Good Place in those sound stages. 41, 42, 43, and 44. That starred Ted Danson, Kristen Bell, Manny Jacinto, William Jackson Harper, Jamila Jamil, and Darcy Carden. That was The Good Place. You can catch all the seasons on Hulu. And Peacock as well, I believe. That's a really good show, guys. First phase of the 3 production phases of filming. Over on your left-hand side, you see these bungalows there? These bungalows are actually office buildings for a lot of production companies here in Hollywood and Universal Studios. On the left is Dwayne Johnson's $7 production. That's the production company for Young Rock, seasons 1 and 2 on NBC. And also on your left-hand side is Elizabeth Banks' Brownstone Productions, production company behind the Pitch Perfect 1, 2, and 3. And it's also right next to Bungalow 5195. That used to be Alfred Hitchcock's office. Writer and director of Psycho, The Birds, Rear Window, Vertigo. Now, however, it's home to the De Laurentiis Company. If you've seen U571, Conan the Barbarian, Hannibal, starring Mads Mikkelsen to the big and the small screen, that's a De Laurentiis Company for you. That's a big production company. Keep looking over on your left-hand side and you'll see two of our newest sound stages. There's a lot of construction going on all throughout our entire backlot. And we're making a lot of sound stages right now. These two are some of our newest ones, 22 and 23. Nicknamed the Will and Grace sound stages, because the final seasons of Will and Grace moved over here from New York City to film their final seasons in those two sound stages. And now, just a hop, skip, and a jump away, we have transitioned from the front lot into the back lot. Front lot is where we film a lot of interior scenes inside of sound stages, right? Well, the back lot you can already kind of see over on your left-hand side. The back lot is where we film large exterior scenes on a grand scale. And our first stop here in our Metropolitan sets, or our Metro sets for short, is going to be our London Square. We can be in any major metropolitan city that production calls for. London, and even you'll see in a minute, as we around the corner, might be in a nice little town in the middle of a nice little suburban area, like Rutherford Falls. Rutherford Falls is filming the new season as we around the corner. But we're going to be in London, and you're going to have to take a look down the street from London all the way to New York. You're going to be looking onto New York Street where the Rutherford Falls TV show is filming right now. But as we around the corner, I'm going to introduce you again to Jimmy Fallon's antics. Because he's all the way over in New York. Oh, you know what? I'm going to turn this down, guys. Look to your right. I didn't even see a way. There's so much going on over there. I think they're just setting up for right now, guys. But that looks really cool. That's Rutherford Falls Season 2 filming over on your right-hand side, guys. Let me put Jimmy on, but give him a nice little volume there.
Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Remember me? No. Just like
we got the makeup and wardrobe department on your right there. And those little tents right in there.
It's cool, guys. I was just,
There's three seats, I would imagine. Ed Helms, Janice Schmieding, and Michael Greyeyes got all three of those seats. Those are the stars of Rutherford Falls.
Make it anywhere, even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
In just a couple minutes, or excuse me, in a couple of hours. They're just setting up right now, and if you come back, you might be able to see some stars as they're actually filming. Angelina Jolie, Steven Spielberg, but we've also worked with another director you might have already heard of. Director by the name of Peter Jackson for his direction of 2005's King Kong.
It's the original King Kong that made me watch film movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just...
3D glasses on, everybody. We're back in Skull Island. King Kong 360 3D. What do you guys think? Did you get enough dino slobber on you? Well, hang on to those 3D glasses, everybody. You might need them later on in the tour. And, Also, watch out for more dino slobber, guys. It's kind of a common theme on the tour.
I got King Kong's saliva on it.
Now, that entire animation, though, was projected on some of the largest screens in the world, measuring 40 feet tall by 180 feet wide. And that entire animation was created by a visual effects team over at Weta Digital. Weta Digital has worked with Peter Jackson in the past on the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy as well. In fact, you probably have seen their work if you've seen Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, Deadpool, Deadpool 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, many other movies as well. Well, that's what you call a picture car when you see a moving car on screen. So if you take a look over on your left-hand side, here's a nice little selection of picture cars. Won't be the last picture cars we'll be seeing on the tour, but we're starting off with the Ford Cobra kit car. We got some cars from the distant past of 1955. That's Biff's car, the Ford convertible there, and from the distant future of 2015. We also got cars from our highest-grossing franchise of all time, the Fast and the Furious. That blue and silver Nissan Skyline there was Paul Walker's car used in Too Fast, Too Furious, which was written and directed by a guy named John Singleton. And if you don't know who John Singleton is, I recommend him on every tour. John Singleton wrote and directed Poetic Justice starring Tupac Shakur and Janet Jackson, and wrote and directed Boys in the Hood and Too Fast, Too Furious. So I always recommend a John Singleton flick to you. And we're finishing off the picture car section with what looks to be a nice little tank, right? Well, that tank is a Bradley fighting vehicle, though, in proper nomenclature. But all the armor around the side of that tank is just plywood, because Michael Bay likes to use a lot of explosives in Transformers, so sometimes we'd have to explode it, but we'd need it for another take again. But this tram that we're on right now is our own little picture car as well. This can take us anywhere in the world we need to go in the backlot. Sometimes all we got to do is turn the corner, like we just did. So now, everybody... Oh, here's Mr. Attenborough.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Yes. Welcome to Jurassic Park, everyone. On your left and your right-hand sides are props, scenery pieces, and dinosaurs. Oh, watch out, guys. It's just some of the stars of Jurassic Park, guys. Some of the Dilophosauruses. Those Dilophosauruses are a great example of another technique used in filmmaking a lot called animatronic technology. In fact, if you've seen Jurassic Park, that giant Tyrannosaurus Rex was also one massive animatronic. It took a team of operators to control that Tyrannosaurus Rex, make it look very, very realistic on screen. That entire scene, though, where the T-Rex is busting free of its de-electrified enclosure, well, that scene was filmed in the middle of a rain downpour, right off the coast of Hawaii. The entire production, though, could afford to fly the entire cast, crew, and production to Hawaii to film those scenes. But if a production doesn't have the money and the budget to do that, well, we just create our own weather effects. So everyone, take a look up in the air where we're producing this rain, because it is produced by our state-of-the-art Universal Studios brand sprinkler system. That's all this is. We're just shooting the water straight up into the air, and it's falling naturally back down to the ground. Now these droplets you're seeing, though, are larger than normal, because we need them to appear on screen and your camera phones as well. In fact, a great example... Oh my. You know, the production's really pouring on the rain for us this morning. Steve, can you radio production? Tell them to cut the rain. It's going to rupture the dam at the top of the hill and split... Uh-oh. Too late. Whoops! I forgot to preface to you all, if you're sitting in a blue seat, you might get wet. I see a lot of you guys looking down in your seats. You're all sitting in blue seats, everybody, so prepared to get wet in the future. But no need to worry about all that rain and water, guys. It's all being recycled, getting pumped underneath that bridge through a series of tubes right on the other side of this facade here in Old Mexico to the top of the hill to be reused for the next tram coming along down the way. That's our flash flood attraction. And we don't, that flash flood attraction is part of our Old Mexico sets right here. You might recognize these sets from an episode of CBS All Access Picard, starring Patrick Stewart as Jean-Luc Picard. And we don't have to get very far to get from our Old Mexico sets to our oldest sets in our entire backlot. Welcome, everyone, to 6 Points, Texas. Now, hold on a second. I'm not introducing this area well at all. Let me try this again. is 6 Points, Texas. Oh, you got ahead of me with that one. Now I need a big old yee-haw from you guys at the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah! That was great, everybody. Welcome to Texas. You're looking at the location of Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and many, many other classic Western movies. But Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, well, if you look to your left, if you look to your right, if you look behind you to your left, if you look behind you to your right, every single inch practically of this 6 Points Texas Western set was used in Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This is the location of that television, or the movie that was being filmed inside the movie in Once Upon a Time. It was Lancer. The entire movie of Lancer was filmed right here, 6 Points, Texas. But because this area is our oldest set in our backlot, it is as old as our entire studio as well. Over 106 years ago, they were used to film silent movies here at 6 Points, Texas. The reason we call it 6 Points, Texas is because there used to be 6 separate streets that used to connect on this very street that we're driving on right now. Each street you could film an entire movie practically. It each had a saloon, it had a bank to rob, a nice little apartment building too. Or hotel, rather. You can pretty much tell an entire story on each of those streets in the silent movie era. Well, take a look over to your left-hand side, everybody. You're getting a sneak peek of an upcoming area that we're going to be driving through in a minute. See that body of water out there with the beautiful fountains in it? Well, that body of water was used to be the Black Lagoon, and the creature from the Black Lagoon in 1954, part of the Universal monster movies. Take a look. Oh, hold on a second.
I am really
Now,
excited to
take a look. There it is. All we gotta do is just film it over there. All we have to do is just prop the camera in front of a little kind of like foliage area, and it looks like the Black Lagoon. So long as we don't move the camera and show a sound stage on either left or the right-hand side of the screen. But the creature from the Black Lagoon was part of the Universal monster movies. And back in the 1930s, the entire United States was undergoing the second worst economic recession in history. So the genre of movies to help prop the studio up financially throughout the entire 30s and 40s was the Universal monster movies, filmed right here in Little Europe. These very same cobblestone streets has the likes of Boris Karloff's Frankenstein's monsters walking these roads, and even Bela Lugosi's Dracula. The Wolfman later filmed in these areas too. The Invisible Man, The Invisible Woman, The Bride of Frankenstein. All the classic monster movies have filmed at the classic Universal monster movies have filmed in Little Europe at one point or another. Now, as we cross the little Court of Miracles on your right-hand side, this is one of the most used, most filmed areas in all of our monster movies from the 1930s and 40s. Take a look at your screens. This is what our Little Europe sets might have looked like back in the 1930s.
What is it now? The monster. He's in the woods. Get out the bloodhounds. Raise all the men you can, lock the women indoors, and wait for me. I'm ready! Take your torches and go!
Why don't you shoot him?
Because Frankenstein's monster is busy. He's got places to be. Like the next soundstage that we're heading into right now. We're heading inside of a soundstage, guys. So just another reminder to please stay seated at all times. Make sure you're hanging on to those belongings and keep all hands and feet in the vehicle at all times. This soundstage, though, was originally constructed and set decorated for a scene from an episode of Bones, starring David Boreanaz and Emily Deschanel. This is Washington, D.C. in the episode. But as you can see, we've set decorated it now to look like San Francisco. Looks very realistic, doesn't it? We've got the... Oh my. That's a little bit too realistic to San Fran. That was a California trimmer, everyone. We get those from time to time. Just stay seated and everything should be fine. Nope. This is the big one, everyone. Hang on. Uh-oh. The ceiling collapsed. Watch out!
What's behind you?
Oh, yeah! You know, this is just totally normal things I see on the North Hollywood subway station all the time. Fire and exposed electrical lines. Ha ha ha. I'm lying, everyone. This isn't good.
Left.
Oh, is it over? Oh, good. We didn't get wet. Uh-oh. Well, congratulations, everyone. You have all just survived a simulated 8.3 earthquake on the Richter scale. Studio tour earthquakes are just really jarring, guys. So, what do you guys say? I bet a lot of you are just on vacation. You're relaxing for the day here at Universal Studios. What better way to relax on such a great day? Then let's head to the beach, guys. Let's head to a nice little spot over here on the right called Amity Island. You know, I heard nothing ever bad happens here at Amity Island. A small little shark problem a while ago, but if you look on your right, that shark problem still exists. That's a massive fin in the water. Well, we did have an experienced diver out there. George was his name. George. Perfect timing. You're supposed to clear the water. You left a big, giant shark there. George? George? Ew. The water is not clear. There is still a giant shark there. We did kind of put a little some bait on the end of this yellow buoy out here. We like to catch some crabs and crayfish, but keep your eye on it. The shark just took the bait and ripped the pier from the dock. That's not good. Whoa.
Look down it.
Sounds like that shark scared some of you guys back there. Bruce the Shark has been scaring guests on the world-famous studio tour since the 1970s when it was first installed here in the backlot. Bruce the Shark, though, got their name from another shark. You see, he was Steven Spielberg's lawyer on the 1975 movie Jaws, whose name was Bruce. Well, when they brought that mechanical shark out to the Atlantic Ocean, right up the coast of Martha's Vineyard for filming, plopped in the water, all of the salt and the sediment seized up those mechanical gears, practically sinking that shark to the bottom of the ocean, nearly tripling the budget of that entire movie. Almost didn't come out in time. They had to push the entire production back from a Christmas release of 1974 to the summer of 1975. In the summer, everybody went to the movies, nobody went to the beaches. But take a look at how much that, because the production of that shark gave the production so much problems on set, take a look at how that production had to deal with that dysfunctional shark.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio mics. They were always saying, "The shark is not working." Repeat, "The shark is not working."
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited.
The shark worked well enough. For a while there, I had the biggest hit of all time. So I really owe the shark a lot.
Now from the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, where Steven Spielberg sits in the mouth of his own creation. Welcome to our Colonial Street. A lot of productions have filmed here on our Colonial Street. More recently, you might recognize over on the left-hand side, this yellow and brick house. This was the house in Mindy Kaling's new show on Netflix, Never Have I Ever. That was probably the most recent production that's filmed back here. But if you are big fans of all 8 seasons, well, you know which show filmed out here. This is Wisteria Lane, home of all 8 seasons of ABC's Desperate Housewives. And take a look, you might recognize a lot of the houses.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighbor.
What the heck? Let's move back. I wonder if they're like real houses.
No, they're just lots.
Oh!
Our Colonial Street's been used for a lot of other productions since Desperate Housewives 2. Over on your left-hand side, this kind of greenhouse, more of an aqua, or a greenish aqua. That greenhouse there was used in the movie Why Him, starring Bryan Cranston. There's a big old helicopter that landed right where we drove. Desperate Housewives was an ABC production. So at Universal Studios, we can basically rent out any portion of our entire lot, depending on which network or movie studio needs it. Depending, you know, they have the money in the budget to rent out the entire space. Every single area of our backlot is available to rent out, including this road that we're driving up right now. This road is called our Wilderness Road because, I'll give you a good guess. If you look over to your left and your right-hand sides, you see a lot of trees and bushes, right? Looks pretty wilderness-like, doesn't it? Well, we actually film a lot of TV shows here and a lot of commercials too as well. Movies as well, a couple of scenes. Well, there was a lot of TV shows, a lot of episodes from the TV show. It was 911. There was a big kind of like a Los Angeles episode where there was a big rain downpour and there was an overturned limousine that had to be rescued right here on our Wilderness Road. And if you look over to your left-hand side, on the other side of the tram, there's a scene from the Netflix movie Bird Box, which filmed inside there. There's a little camping scene in that movie where they filmed right here on the backlot. So they don't have to take the entire cast and crew to, like, say, in the middle of nowhere. They just bring it right back here to the studio. But now as we turn the corner, we're going to show you some more examples of our picture cars.
Oh, picture cars.
And some last remaining remnants of Halloween Horror Nights, too, on the right-hand side. Again, picture cars can help us in the audience establish where in the world a lot of productions are taking place and what time period. Maybe we're in the middle of London there with that little double-decker bus. That's Mr. Bean's car there over on the right, too, as well. That's the yellow hot rod from American Graffiti, directed by George Lucas. And a lot of cards from Fast and the Furious is 5, 6, 8, and 9 as well. But what's weird is that every person who's parked their car back there, they've never returned. Oh, that's why they parked right behind the Bates Motel. Welcome to the scenes from Alfred Hitchcock's classic 1960 horror, Psycho. Right here's the Bates Motel with some more Halloween Horror Nights remnants, and up on the top of the hill, well, that's Mother's house we're getting to. Mother's always home. Check the second story window as we pass by, everyone. She's home, and she's always watching. Oh, Norman's watching too. Oh, we're just gonna drive out of here, guys. No worries. Bye, Norman. Now from the sets of Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 classic Psycho to our largest set on our backlot. Welcome everyone to a scene ripped straight out of Paramount's War of the Worlds. Take a look around you all. This plane that you're seeing, well, what's left of it anyways, was in fact a real Boeing 747. But once again, here's Steven Spielberg, the director of War of the Worlds, and production designer Rick Carter to tell you a little bit more about this disastrous set.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When you first began to sit down to talk about the War of the Worlds, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. That's right. Now listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Okay, I'm closed. Robbie, get in. Get in.
Beside the green fence there, you see that big blue wall out there? That's our Falls Lake back there. The big blue wall was used most recently in the movie Sully, starring Tom Hanks. To film this particular scene, you can't necessarily take the entire production back to the Hudson Bay, put another plane back on the river and film, or the lake and film it. So they brought the entire scene right back here to the backlot. Everything is real in this scene. The plane, the actors walking the wing, and the water. The only thing that's not is the background there of the Hudson Bay. It all has been CGI inserted in the post-production phase. Computer-generated imagery, you just copy and paste a 3D image into a 3D space. But now, we're going to take you inside of another soundstage, everybody. And we're gonna put you in the movie this time around, showing you how to make the movie, right? But let me just throw things over to who I believe is gonna be picking things up here, Roman Pierce. Hey, Roman, where are you? How about you take the helm?
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you from Shawn for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
All right, look, guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and we'll meet you in there.
Put it on.
Well, you heard him, everybody. Criminal syndicate mastermind Owen Shaw is hot on our tail. So just blend in from the safety of your own seats, everybody. It's early morning dance party, everybody. It's an early morning dance party. Just blend in, blend in.
This is what we're doing. This is the race day after party. And the what other?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move. Neil, that's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. Got it. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody.
Put those 3D glasses on now, because I got a feeling things are going to be getting fast and furious.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn.
After them!
Okay, guys, it's your time. Open them up.
I got the move by the horn!
Now we're moving.
Stop! Look out! You can be the witness to it or we call it a day!
How about you? Eat asphalt!
Don't think you're getting away! Pull in the door!
Where to go, buddy?
Throw climbing up the missile shot!
Not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got you.
Roman, don't shoot! Head from the bridge! Under construction! Everybody hold on!
Hit the nitrous. Ride and die.
We roll like this. That is how we roll. That was Fast and Furious Supercharged.
Hell of a job, everybody. You protected the witness and you can resume breathing.
You know, it's crazy out there. You guys ride hard. Respect.
You know, my Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it.
They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is.
Well, that's right, everybody. We're now a part of the crew. But sadly, that marks the end of our tour today. Once again, though, my name is Shawn, and our driver once again has been Steve. Give a big round of applause for Steve, everybody. He has been driving us all around the back and the front lot. We literally couldn't go anywhere without his help. On behalf of myself, Steve, and everybody here at NBC Universal, thank you guys. You guys all the way back to Car 4. I see all of you guys because we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much for celebrating Universal history, everybody, and celebrating your nice sunny days here at Universal Studios. And as we return back to the unload, everybody, make sure that you got all your belongings with you. Say maybe you put something down at the down by your feet, just for safety. Grab a hold of it and don't leave anything behind, everybody. Watch your step as you exit the tram, too. Use those upright bars for any kind of support you might need stepping off the tram. And then please dispose of those 3D glasses in the proper receptacles. Make sure you're not throwing away your sunglasses in there. It happens from time when we'll always get it back. but make sure it's just not for the 3D glasses only. If you got any questions at all, I'll be standing by the electronic board nearby. But once again, everyone, thank you all for joining us here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA. Have a great rest of your days, everybody!
Have a good one.
You too. See you later.